In my previous video I prepared the contact points with the floor, sills and tunnel for the co-driver seat, which was a slightly simpler installation. Now I'm working on the driver's seat, which is going to be ahead of the original seat cross member in the car, but needs to be as tight back to that as possible. I then want the rear support to be as close to these old sliding rails as possible, so that the distance between the two supports is as low as possible, as it is quite a good span. So just like on the passenger side, I want to remove a little bit of the contact area, this cross member, so that I have a flat surface for my counterplate to go on. I'll be welding back in more material than I'm taking out. There's quite a lot of parameters affecting the shape of the counterplates I'm going to be welding to the floor. So I need to work out now exactly where the end plates of the supports are going. And I'm using the back of that old floor cross member as a datum point, because that goes right across the car. The front edge is different shapes at different contact points, so that's why I'm working off the back. I did a bit of working out in my little notebook. The surface area of the end plates has to be 40 centimeters squared, which allows you a bit of flexibility with the length and the width. And I've chosen 5 by 8. And what I was going back to it here for was I needed to know the distance from the centers of the holes I'm drilling down to the floor. So it's going to be 2.5 to the edge of the plate, and then just got another half centimeter to 5 mil for the space at the edge of the counterplate and the weld on the edge of that. There's a handy crease on the inner sill there at the 3 centimeter mark, so I'm going to do my holes on that. But now what I've got to do is I've got to figure out that height on the tunnel. So just making up a little plate on the balancing on the end of some bolts with nuts on them, so that I get this level. I checked that the car was level left to right on the original cross member, so this now will give me the correct distance down from the edge of that level to where I need to drill my holes. I was able to adjust the height of the little plate using the nuts and bolts for the different contact points on the tunnel. So this is getting the position for the front lateral support on the driver's side, and now my passenger side. And you can see again how this lateral support is going behind the cross member. It was only the rear support for the co-driver where I actually had plenty of space. So a lot easier to put in the height again along that crease, and now I'm actually basing the position of the rear lateral support on enough space ahead of that plate I had for the roll cage. So I'm measuring the distances of those from that little upright for the rear seat and taking it at the same height as the crease. Then I know the distance out from that will give me the same centers. So seeing exactly where the end plates need to go, I can judge the space I need for the counterplates, and I can cut now with confidence. And I could have made it easier by drilling out that spot weld as well. I clean away the seam sealant that was used between that cross member and the tunnel. Careful not to erase all my hard working out. Welding the edges of my cut will make this stronger than it ever was with the 2 spot welds in it. Now I can start making my end plates, and you know, I've kind of worked out an average size to suit as many of the locations as possible. So these are the 5 by 8s, and I need 4 of those. All the ones going into the inner sill can be the same size. I can cut the width of these all in one go. and just mark on the 8 centimeter length now, and then leaving a little extra for the thickness of the cut, and it can always be filed down later, but I can't really add anything to it, just so that I make sure these are definitely over 40 centimeters squared, 5x8. I'm going to do these cuts to the outside edge of my marks as well, so I should have plenty of material. I wonder, will this plate last till the end of the project, or will I run out and have to get more? Going well so far. That's 4 of them done. I'll put them together actually, and just use the flat wheel there in the vise to get them all nice and uniform. Now, just getting an idea what the lateral support looks like on them, and should have 2 centimeters at each side for my M8 bolts to go through, so that they'll be 1 centimeter in from the edge, and they should look nicely centered from the edges of the plate. Because I'm doing a number of these, I'm actually just going to mark this set square with the 1 centimeter line and the 2.5 centimeter, so that I can just slot on each of the plates and mark them. Back to my trusty bench drill. It really has been fantastic for this project. There's been so much drilling of plates. So that's an 8mm hole for my M8 bolts, which are what are specified. Fits there nicely. And now the other plates on the tunnel, because the tunnel is tilted in a little bit, decided to do them a little bit wider, because the lateral support will come in at a bit of an angle. I'll drill the first hole for each plate first, and then I'll make the second hole to suit each plate, just so that everything is nice and tight. I have 8 of these to do, and you can see I've got a good bit of welding to do to tidy up the floor. I might do that when the counter plates are in, so I see exactly how they fit and don't end up grinding down loads of welds. I'll stick the first bolt in there. Now drill out all the other ones to 8mm. Using a magnet now to hold it in place. Still using the 8mm drill bit. I'll get the exact center of the hole. I think I'll remove the plates though to drill all the way through. On to the next one. Exact same job. Hold it with the magnet. On the right hand side here, I fitted in one of the eye bolts into where the old seat belt mounting was, because I want to put the right hand side of the pelvis strap on the harness here, since it's already reinforced appropriately. So I'm running that plate just exactly below it, and I'll make the counter plate go around the whole thing and drill it for the eye bolt to go through. I think it's a neat way of doing it. The centre's worked out for all those holes. I'm just moving around swiftly now with the 8mm drill bit. It's the same situation for the eye bolt on the left hand side, which is the driver's side in this car. So you can see the plates going in just below that. I'll fit them all into place so that I can see exactly what I need to do for my counter plates. They're all going to be bespoke, I think, because of the space restrictions or whether I want to work in the eye bolts, etc. It's nice seeing a certain level of uniformity coming in. So those are actually bigger than the ones on the edge, but because of the tilt, they'll look, the appearance will be the same. That was the most extreme angle, so that's got the biggest plate. Another 8 plates to make, and then I can start cutting the supports to the correct length. Thanks for watching.